Welcome back to Le Foot, your podcast about French football, where there was comebacks everywhere last weekend. Angers did not manage a comeback though, as PSG won and has 9 fingers on the Ligue trophy. The hot crisis match between Marseille and Nice ended with an ice-cold finish from Wahi. But OM, it was not the only club missing opportunities in the race for Champions League football. Speaking about missing, we need to start grabbing points in Le Foot Pronos, as the margins were not on Le Foot's side this weekend. We bring you new predictions, welcome Troyes back to Ligue, and look forward to the match of the year where PSG will face Bayern Munich tomorrow. On y va!
Hello and welcome back, gents. How are you, Jeff?
Good. It feels like we got a bit of a new tradition down here in the basement, because Dennis has last couple of weeks started bringing burgers just before the episode.
Yeah. He's downing a burger, ready to talk.
Exactly. Yeah. But then, I kind of joined in on that little thing, and I was a bit rushed myself, so I brought down from my apartment to the basement a bit of lovely cod, which was buttering nicely in the pan. Made some nice sauce as well, and mashed potatoes with that.
But I have to say, the cod was so nice, because I had dinner before I came here, and I came in, I saw these wobbling, eating pigs sitting around the table with burger and some fish. But then I tried a bit of Jeff's cod, and it was really good.
I thought you were going to say something else. I was like, hold on a second, Charlie. I think Sarah, your girlfriend, listens to this episode, because I thought you were going to say, before I came here, I had some dinner back home, but it was not good. The fish was so nice. I was like, okay.
Hey, you know what? The dinner I had today, it was actually cooked by my daughter, Freya.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Yeah. She made it. We heated it up today. It was really good.
Nice.
Yeah. It was some chicken with noodles and vegetables, so stir fry. Nice. Really good.
Perfect.
Yeah.
We welcome back Troyes to Ligue 1, coming up from Ligue 2.
Well, yeah, what a season, what a performance. It's really cool to see a team, 2 matches left. They've been fighting it off with mostly Le Mans and Saint-Étienne, but they now... Troyes is back, and we say congratulations. It's going to be interesting following them as newcomers for next year. I've been hoping, of course, for Saint-Étienne to be making the way back, and I know, Jeff, you have a special place a bit with Le Mans, with the racing connection, but it's really interesting. We need to look a bit, because there is one more place for direct promotion, and it's between Saint-Étienne and Le Mans, and they have actually quite a tough schedule now. Saint-Étienne playing against Rodez away, and Rodez is also trying to get to the qualification spots to be promoted, and Le Mans plays the classic club Reims, and let's see after next weekend how things stand ahead of the final match week there. But
I also think that obviously you from a Le Mans and Saint-Étienne perspective, you obviously want to grab the second direct spot up to Ligue, especially after a long season. You want to not having that qualification game afterwards. But nevertheless, I think both these teams will have a good chance to beat what's most likely going to be Auxerre in a qualification game. So even though they don't make the spot directly, both will have good chances. So that's nice for the teams, I think.
Yeah, but you're throwing Sinayoko under the bus there. He's going to lose against these upcomers.
Auxerre will have their chance as well, but I think what we've seen from them, struggling to score, I don't know. They haven't really been a contested throughout the season in Liga, so I think it'll be a tight one from both perspectives going into that game.
No, and everything can happen in those qualification matches. It's like it's finals, and it will be super interesting. One thing to mention as well is that Red Star Paris, I don't think they are in question for direct qualification, given there's 4 points up to Le Mans currently, but imagine having a third Paris club next season. That would also be interesting, because they look good for the qualification spots at the moment. I also just want to mention that Troyes actually finished it off now and securing qualification by 3-0 victory against Saint-Étienne away, which is very strong.
Statement victory.
Statement. You might as well do a statement when you're heading up, and what better way to do it at Stade Geoffroy Guichard with the fans of Saint-Étienne, which is, they are amazing.
Wow.
We need to also address one more thing, because 22nd of May, Dennis, what's happening?
We have the finale of Coupe de France.
And now we know who's playing there.
For sure.
For sure. Jeff has been going on that Macron might be handing out the trophy.
Yeah. So it's custom that the president of France hands out the trophy to the winner after the game, and as we know, it's Mr. Macron, who's the president of France these days and have been for a while. So he will have his little moment of fame, I guess, handing out that trophy.
We'll see who he will be handing the trophy to, because we now know that it will be the first title for a long time to either Lens or Nice. And I just want to start off by saying Nice being in the final this season with the struggles they've been having, it's actually remarkable.
Yeah.
It would be such a achievement for them to grab a trophy when they've actually been not facing relegation, but they've not been too far off, and they are still struggling in Ligue. But we have to say Wahi, 2 goals, Strasbourg away, and I also want to just give a thought that Gary O'Neill, I think this is a miscalculation. Going out when you have this golden opportunity to bring silverware to Strasbourg for the first time in a long time, and you have Nice coming up and beating you fair and square.
Yeah, they won against Strasbourg fair and square, but I think if we look on the opposition on this team or in this game, Lens, they come from a different perspective into this final, but then also so much to win, right? First of all, they never won the Coupe, so that's just something massive right there. But then also considering the season they had, they played very, very well, and at stages throughout the year, some of us, including people elsewhere, can Lens actually win Ligue? Now they bottled it, but winning this trophy will give some kind of, I don't know, something back to the players, something back to the club, the fans, and everything to build upon.
Yeah.
So I would say Lens has more to lose coming into this game compared to Nice, who, as you said, hasn't really performed that well throughout the year.
No, and I think both teams now have the chance to have a fantastic season. If they win this trophy, the season is a success. I think if Lens does not win this final, the season is still very good. Finishing up second, close to PSG. But I think Nice losing this final, this is going to be a mystery season. If they win the final, Nice is back.
Yeah.
It's like Rio Ferdinand when Oli is at the wheel. We're back, but Nice is they are doing so poorly. And Wahi, you remember we talked about him this winter. He came in as a loanee from Frankfurt, and he has been such a player for Nice. We're gonna get later to the weekend games as well in Ligue and what he did at the Velodrome. But I really look forward to the final. I think it's so nice that we have these 2 clubs there as well. Great set of supporters gonna travel to Paris. I wish that the Le Foot crew could go.
Yeah, and I just took the time to look on tickets myself just before this episode, and I looked just for a while, but it seems like a lot of the tickets were really already sold out.
Okay.
So I think, we'll watch it on the telly, but I think we can expect great atmosphere at Stade de France at the 22nd of May, a Friday, 9 p.m. or 8 maybe in France, but it's really something to look forward to, and I don't know. I think I'm objective, but I think Lens should go and grab this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But they are clear favorites. But I think what Nice did now in Strasbourg with Wahi, and if they find something, a final is a final. Strange things happens in finals. So I want to leave it open. But yes, ahead of it, I agree that Lens favorite.
I think so too. I think we'll see a Lens victory here.
Friday started off with Brest versus Lens, and we have 3-3 on the score sheet when the final whistle blew. What a Friday game, and also what happened? Again, in the first half in Ligue 1, you have Lens conceding several goals, and then they need to do a comeback. But they did. So 3-0 to Brest in the first half. You have Guido starting off the scoring, and then it's followed up by, in the 42nd minute, you have Ebimbe scoring the 3-0. But then Thauvin, great goal for reducing the score to 3-1 in the second half.
Yeah, important, and they could have scored that goal earlier as well in the second. But I mean, what I think is worth mentioning, just going through this game, is that Lens had played just a couple of days before in the Coupe, and Pierre Saguet, the coach of Lens, decided to put what I think we all can conclude upon their best players on the bench, all of them coming in the second half, and there we also go from being 3-0 to 3-3 eventually. And I think that was a poor move, because now in hindsight, when the game is over, if the league was not lost before this game, it's definitely lost now. And I think you could see with all those key players that Lens have, which is why they're such a good team. I mean, they made a difference. I would say there were two different games, not only two halves here. There were two different games. Not taking away anything from Brest in the first half, because they were very good. But yeah, I think it's poor tactically ahead of this game to rest those players.
Yeah, because also it's not many matches left now. They have, of course, the Coupe final eventually, but apart from that, Lens is playing in one front, and they are playing in Liga. And I agree with you that there is no chance anymore with the point gap, given PSG's 2 victories in 1 week. But I must give some praise as well. Thauvin coming in, as well as Abdulhamid Saoud. And then you had Saint-Maximin also, of course, scoring a goal late on. And he really picked the players in the second half that made an impact. But I agree as well that it's too late.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, we praised Risser throughout most of the season. But I think last week and the week before that, and now also on the first goal by Guido from Brest, I think it was poor performance from Risser. Yeah. So a bit shaky back there, him and the back three was what made Lens so good. At least the first half of the season, they didn't concede anything. Yeah. But now they started conceding, and Risser starting to shake in a bit.
No, for sure. And I'm thinking as well that Risser, ahead of the World Cup now, I mean, he should be showing the same form he has had all season instead, if you want to have that place on the bench in the France squad. But it's going to be hard to argue now. And another, call out is just to say that Ajorque again for Brest. I think he's doing a fantastic match. No goal, but he does an assist. And he's had a season with contributing a lot. And I can imagine, as a Brest player, you must also be quite disappointed. Because 3-0 going into the half-time rest and then actually not grabbing all 3 points is not a good way to finish off the match. But overall, no matter which numbers you look at, this was Lens' match. I think chances created, you have the possession, you have the dominance of play. But I want to put up one little question mark here. We had the same against Toulouse last weekend, and now we have again for Lens coming out to a match, conceding quite a bit early. And I know Saint-Maximin talked after the match as well about how much Brest seemed to want it, even though they are playing for nothing, being in the middle of the table. And he was a bit critical of his own squad there. And I think they need to... I mean, now, they're going to grab Champions League spot, that's for sure. But I still think that they should keep building on that will and determination that they showed earlier, that they wouldn't lose a match. They would grab the 3 points in one way or the other. And I feel it's not the same anymore.
No, there is something there. But that game against Toulouse, if I'm not mistaken, they conceded early, as you said. But I think that was also a bit, a Risser accident. If it was not the first or the second. So I think as a team going into a game with a strong plan on how to defend and how to stand properly, if you concede at least now, which was a long shot from Brest in the 6th minute, I think it kind of throws you off in how to play like the minutes afterwards, because he's 6 minutes into the game. Like some players have barely touched the ball even. I mean, it's early stages.
Yeah.
But I think Saint Maximin has really started to impress on me. I was a bit unsure on how he would be playing or how it would be like in Lens, because I've mainly seen him in Newcastle a few years back, and he was not playing week in there, week out as he's been doing now in Lens. But I saw him as a good talent. He had the capability of bringing speed and taking his opponent. But now he's also producing points like consistently.
Yeah.
So he's been very important for Lens, and he was definitely the player when there was still 1 goal down now against Brest, who kept on going for the equalizer, which he eventually also did. And he had a shot in the post just like 15-20 minutes before that as well, like a really strong shot. So very good, and also a very nice player to watch like individually. Very funny. All right, second game, Toulouse, Monaco. So much to play for Monaco, at least ahead of this game, and started off brilliantly. They scored 2 goals within the first 20 minutes, where the second goal scored by Camara was beautiful. He got the ball close in that half circle just outside the goaling area, and just kind of with his wrist just in the first top corner beautifully.
We normally mention beautiful goals, but if you haven't seen it, you really must go to YouTube and watch this one. It's a strike. It's the goal of the match week for me.
Yeah, because I think it's also with such like composure in the way he shoots it. Like it's very nice. But I don't think anyone saw Monaco ending up drawing this game, because they started off so well. Like, what happened? How are Toulouse able to get 2 goals and getting back into this game?
I would say in this match, watching it, then after the 2-0, I felt like Toulouse, I don't know exactly what they changed, but all of a sudden they started getting a bit more possession, and they started to look like super determined to do something about it. But from the goal in the 18th minute there from Camara, I would say that Toulouse started showing the front foot all the way up until they scored, and that was kind of middle of the second half. And that must mention is the first goal for Russell Rowe, the Canadian, in Ligue, his first Ligue goal, and it's a good one. It comes in, it's a nice pass, and he hits it in. It's not a very complex goal, but it's still someone needs to be there and score it. And then I would say Toulouse chasing the point, and in the end you have Emerson in the 90th minute equalizing, and overall I would say it's a fair result. And here we need to stop and think a bit about Monaco, because a few weeks ago we saw them as one of the favorites to grab a Champions League spot, but you have 1 loss and 2 draws versus opponents that they could actually beat after having been on a fantastic run with Pochettino. And you have Balogun scoring every match. He didn't score now, but you've had so many positive things going for Monaco in the race. But I would say now they are actually quite far off. We have 3 matches remaining, and it's 6 points up to Lille and Lyon on 57 for Champions League football. And I think Lyon is not going to make that. I think those teams are going to grab enough points to keep them behind. And you also have Rennes and Marseille there in between.
But some of these teams play against each other, and they have Lille left. I'm not saying that they are in the pole position anymore, but there is still chance. Metz away, Lille at home, Strasbourg away. Winning all those 3, the chance is there. But they've completely thrown it away. Last 3 games, they draw against Auxerre, Toulouse, and lost against Paris FC. And before that, winning against teams like Lyon, UM, and PSG.
It's mad.
They kind of bottle it. And what I think about this game is that Toulouse did really well after like Monaco's first two goals, and I think they were able to score like 1 or 2 goals just before first half, and that they consistently throughout the game were threatening Monaco around the edges or the flanks, and Monaco didn't really find a way to to stop that kind of attack that Toulouse put through, and that's how they scored both goals. I mean, either through like long tap-ins, like from the corners, just back in, or just similar but further away, like with a ball in, a header, and then a goal. So.
Because if we stop there, I think that's very hard to defend. If you have someone coming down to the corner and your defense is not sorted properly, and you have passes cutting in back towards the middle of the goal scoring area, you're always going to struggle to defend. It's just a tap and it's a goal. I mean, as a goalkeeper, you can't really do much. It's too close, it's too fast. So I think you're onto something there, Jeff, that they need to look at how they defend there in the outer parts of the defensive area.
I don't know if they're just a bit too heavy leaning forwards. You know, they want to play this nice offensive attacking football and just leaning a bit too much ahead with players of Balogun and Fati, who were not, I mean, they didn't have a great performance this game. So, I mean, those two players, but then also Adingra and others, you know, perhaps going a bit too much up ahead and leaving the people in the back. And if Toulouse has the chance to do this for 60 minutes, they're going to concede 2 goals or even more.
Yeah. And just want to mention one thing regarding Toulouse is that our favorite, Carles Martinez, the manager there, he is in negotiations, I've understood, or they are looking and seeing, he's looking at his options and the club is seeing if they are going to renew and have him manage Toulouse onwards. And what do you think, given their... I mean, where they're going to end up this season, they're going to be a middle team. And given how they've been looking, do you think that they should look to extend Carles Martinez as a manager? God's plan?
God's plan, indeed, yeah. I mean, it's a tough question. And he's been there, since like late 2002 now, I think. Starting as an assistant and then permanently in June 2023. I don't know, to be fair. I think have to consider after the season where the club wants to go, if there are any other options. It's a tight one. He's done decently though, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's okay. But not more than that, I would say. It's okay. Sunday evening at the Velodrome. Yesterday we had OM versus OGC Nice. And what a match. I think OM actually performed very well. They played with intensity, a lot of possession, created chances, and actually late on you had Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, the Danish Frenchman, scoring, and you would think it's the decisive moment and the match is won. But late on you have a penalty for OGC Nice, and what happens? It's the coldest penalty I've seen in a while.
Yeah, but also, I mean, as we know with OM, it's never done. They always concede lately. And this time, from the angles I saw, I think it's a wrong penalty. But yeah, the penalty is very nice. It's a Panenka from Wahi.
On the away ground, a tough away ground, Stade Velodrome, plenty of fans there. And the pressure must be on. And again, we have a goal. If you haven't seen it, it's a must watch. We will put it on social media as well from the Ligue channels. He does a Panenka, and it looks like he already knew before the penalty that he will score. He looks so confident. After the Coupe game, Wahi scoring 2 against Strasbourg, and then he goes to the Velodrome and does that. I think it's... What a performance. What a week.
But also here, I mean, Claude Puel here for Nice. Nice also played in the Coupe as Lens this. He plays with exactly the same team, and they don't have more players compared to Lens. He plays with Wahi again from the first minute, the entire game, whereas Lens doesn't. And Nice doesn't have even close to much to play for in the league. I mean, they kind of have something to play for in the league, but I mean, Lens, you could argue they have more to play for in the league. And so I think it's a matter of, I don't know, instinct, if that's the right word, but just like more of
mentality
and the capability of wanting something.
Yeah.
But yeah, however, it was a great penalty from Wahi. But then also a few other things here in the games. I mean, starting off the game, we could see Greenwood was not in the first 11 from OM, and there was a bit of a talk about Habib and Greenwood having a bit of a discussion.
I mean, there is a few reports of different things happening. We talked last weekend about the very big criticism from inside the club versus the players. You had the sporting director Benazia as well as Habib being very openly critical, and they were gonna put a lot of time and effort in the training ground. But now reports in different media outlets in France is saying that there is a schism or it's not a good environment between Habib and Greenwood, and it seems that he is disappointed with the work, and I mean, I can understand now the situation that OM is in, and he's not scoring that much, so putting him outside of the 11, Habib seems to not be pleased with Greenwood at all, and it seems like Greenwood has, according to reports, been not the best training player this week as well. And there is also Ethan Nwaneri not getting play time, and he argues that he's a good player, but other players showed it more, and I would say that's really reflected in the 11, where you have young Nigerian Enadi playing, 22 years old. Timber, of course, assist as well, yeah. And of course, they don't get the 3 points. But I must say, my opinion here is that he's doing the right thing, Habib. In a tough time when they've been losing, when the players have not been performing enough. You have Guiri, of course, he has injury problems as well. But then Greenwood, if he's showing the bad mentality, he shouldn't be in the starting 11. I think any football club putting players with a bad mentality in the starting 11 will have huge problems coming.
Yeah, and I mean, someone might argue saying that, okay, you should play Greenwood because he's the best option of a striker, might be true. And if he would have played from the first minute, who knows if he would have scored, and that might end up Marseille grabbing the Champions League spot. But in the long run, I think, you have to build the team from the bottom, and that starts with getting a group of players that plays for each other. And I think that's something we really saw when Højbjerg scored the first goal. It felt like the first in a long time when I saw the players on the pitch and also the bench, really getting together, showing some kind of, family or happiness.
So much joy.
Yeah, to score that goal together. So I think that's what Habib and OM is, trying to implement and build further upon to what before was, all these lone players, the Serbia giving vacations. They might be maybe trying to build something, and I guess we'll see if it's gonna be good enough for them to grab the last Champions League spot or not, because that's gonna be, very important as of what players they can attract next year going forward.
I want to have a bold question here. Should they maybe get rid of Greenwood?
Ooh.
It's a bold one.
It's a bold one. But my opinion is yes.
Yeah.
They should look to get some money for him in the summer. And play him if he's showing the right attitude for the rest of the season. If he's not, I think they should get rid of him. They should try to squeeze some money, put a price tag on, because buying clubs knows he can score. Of course, Greenwood has a very problematic history, and not sure which buying clubs will be there, but I'm sure some wants to buy some of that goal production, and I think they should put a hefty price tag and let him go. Maybe even sell him to some other leagues in different parts of the world and really get money for him. I really hate the idea of having players in a big club as OM who is having frictions with the manager. Some reports even said about teammates complaining that his defensive work and his work rate is not good enough. And then it has gone way too far. I think you can have a diva here or there. There can be some complaints. But if you're a diva, you have to deliver match in, match out. He has not done that. So I think short answer is, my opinion, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a bit unsure, because I think first of all for them to, wanting or the chance of him being sold for that amount of money that they would have want, to be able to buy one or two other players to replace him, that would have to be, Saudi or something like that. And I don't know Greenwood personally, but he's still very young. He's 24. going there in such a young age. I don't think he wants to, and I don't think any other top club that will pay that money and that he's going to be interested in is going to be on the table. So I think, considering Habib is new and he's trying to implement all these things, maybe him and Greenwood at this moment and the club is having the schism, but I think that will be something that they can come over. And just looking at what he's produced this season, 42 games, 25 goals, 10 assists. It's probably only like Dembélé who can produce those numbers in Liga, and these games are also including European games, etc. But there's not that many players in Liga that can produce those numbers. So, if they can overcome that, build upon the team as of next year, they're title contenders. If you have a player of that capability, so I think there'll be some twist and turning about what to do with Greenwood, but you can't go from that. He's a great player.
And the impact he has had this season is fantastic. But I have a suggestion. I think they should go to Greenwood. They should say, we're selling you to Saudi if you don't play better and fix that attitude. That attitude, because I hate it. Like even like the club that I support, when I start getting a feeling that there is this kind of attitude problem, I hate it. But yes, and I see you have one point, Jeff, that the hole that he would leave in this squad, football quality wise, it would be impossible to fill, I think, with the same budget, because the goals and assists and the impact in the offense that he has had over this season is not to be joked around with.
Because they bought him from, I guess he was on loan on Getafe, so they bought him from United, or?
Yeah, it could be. I'm not sure exactly where the money went.
Everybody knows that you got him for 50% because the circumstances.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't think Marseille would have been able to buy him from the first place.
Do you think Saudi will give 50% or they pay full price?
They pay full price.
That's good. So will we see him starting against Nantes this weekend? Do you think? What is that?
I find it very hard to see. I think maybe the point has gotten across. As a professional footballer, you need to take being put on the bench the right way, and he needs to put in the work in the training.
As Endrick did.
It's a very good example, Endrick, and he's so young, showing that maturity actually has made me view Endrick in a way which I think should be a model for young players being put on the bench. But if Greenwood takes that criticism in a good way, I think he will be in the starting 11, because honestly, even against Nantes, they need that.
Yes.
They need Greenwood to play.
League check. Okay, so we've had some other very interesting fixtures on top of the one we've already discussed. What about Lorient versus Strasbourg? Lorient is 2-0 up, and Strasbourg makes 2-1 by Nanasi in the 67th. 62nd, but then they score 2 goals, or one is an own goal, but 2 goals in extra time, winning the game 3-2. Crazy.
The comeback, what a comeback.
And before talking about this game a little bit, I would just like to give a bit of, I would like to give some momentum to Strasbourg's last coach. Now they have Gary O'Neill, who's doing, a good job for Strasbourg.
Okay.
But before that, they had Rousinier. And I just want to give a moment here, calling out that he got sacked by Chelsea just a couple of days ago. And usually when a coach leaves or get kicked out of the club, you can see players who write something on Instagram or something saying like, sorry man, but we appreciated you, thank you for the time, or something. Nothing. Completely silence. There's been rumors that some of the players in the group, or at least one player, called him the sub teacher. that he was there, not like on an interim basis as others, as Carrick now for United. He was a sub teacher. When you go to school and your teacher is sick,
The main teacher is out.
yeah, exactly. you get a sub of the day, like history, and that's Lionel Senior, the man age, or
Taking the aging men.
exactly.
Yeah, no, but exactly, and it's crazy. I saw something that now, very late, and I think after the reports about no players telling him bye, then Delap has put a post on social media. The only player
Saying what?
it was just thank you for everything, Gaffer. See you again, or something.
Okay.
Something like that. But it speaks volumes. I mean, for players not to thank their coach. Today it's become a norm that people will do that if you get sacked. And I don't want to pat ourselves too much on the shoulder, but we called this out. We said that this is not going to work. We even said, which I see Chelsea fans saying right now, they should have stuck with the old manager, Maresca. He is being rumored to take over Manchester City eventually.
Yeah, it was City, exactly. Yeah, that's true. No.
So how can you bring in Rosinho? We said he needs to stay on Strasbourg level clubs. And he flew too close to the sun. He got burnt. Chelsea's in a terrible place.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, I think there is a lot of mess going on there. But I think, like you said, not being thanked by the players publicly, and you have the situation with the note.
Yeah, the note.
The note against PSG. I mean, they are down 8-2 in total. And he calls Garnacho over. You should watch that clip when he hands Garnacho the note. The look on Garnacho's face is like, what the heck is going on?
And of all the players to give, what seems to be, a proper note that he has to be instructed, imagine giving them to Garnacho. I don't know if he speaks English that well, going in there.
Garnacho strikes me a bit of a player also sometimes with a bit of attitude and grumpiness,
And he should play, I don't know, it's just, but something that Chelsea have learned, what I read, because, you would assume that if you go to a club and you're only there for a few months, you get sacked, you get, a hefty severance. But apparently there was something in the statement, if Rosinho was a fraud, which he was, that he would only get 4 million euros.
Okay.
So he will not get
200
all the
million, 20 million euro.
So, Todd Bowley, I think he can still afford a bit of a nice salmon on the restaurants in the States or whatever he does.
But I think that was a clever move, and maybe they could see that this was something that could happen, bringing him over from Strasbourg. But I need to mention because comebacks happen. We've already talked about Strasbourg now coming back against Lorient. We talked about Monaco earlier. We talked about Lens. But all these comebacks, but no other game ended 4-4 apart from Le Havre Metz.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was back and forth all match. When I see that a match has ended 4-4, I always want to see, was it a comeback? Was it a back and forth? And this one is nice to see that it was really just back and forth. Le Havre taking the command, they want to win this match. And then you have, Metz battling back, which you have to respect. I mean, given where they are, that they still put up a fight, which I think is to give kudos. But kudos we also need to give to Tolisso in Lyon, because what an impact he had back now. He has been missing for a bit. And of course, Lyon had a great evening in Paris last weekend without him. But he's back scoring, assisting, and him and Jeremchuk up top. I mean...
scoring 2 goals.
2 goals.
And also, I mean, they are, what is it, Lyon? Also, I mean, all teams, Lyon, Lille, Rennes, winners of the week, considering OM and Monaco drop points. So, I mean, important win there from Lyon.
Super important, and now they look in a good spot to be, to really be fighting for Champions League football together with Lille. I mean, they are in a good place. I think Rennes, point-wise, is going to be the contender. We can just give it to the listeners that Lyon and Lille are 57 points, and behind them you have Rennes on 56 with great form.
And they play each other.
They do. Yes. We're going to get into that next weekend. We have a top match. But I think it's also for Lyon that they have found now proper striker to have there. I mean, you can have Endrick. I think Sulch, the experiment of Sulch up there up top, he scored some goals. He came in here and didn't actually have a fantastic match, but Yaremchuk is the one now, scoring a few matches.
What about Wahid in Nantes? Any news?
4 matches suspension, so he's out. They can already start plotting for the upcoming coaching. I saw some things in some news magazines that they are already eyeing up some new coaches ahead of next season, which is most likely going to be in Ligue 2.
Liam Rosinha?
Rosinha, the comeback. I think if they want to have I think it's the wrong time to take Rosinha.
Yeah.
I think he might be a bit... no, I wouldn't advise him to do that. And I think...
But do you think Wahid's manager career is over now? Or, I mean, he's 74. He's going out with a bang.
And that interview, I mean, he says, I can quit football and all these things. That even the look on his face when you see him, it's like, Wahid, have a good, glass of wine and sit back, or even just something nice to eat and relax. It's done.
Do you think Patrick Karlgren will follow Nantes down to Ligue 2? Or is he thinking about quitting his career as well? Ex-AIK goalkeeper.
I don't know, and I'm thinking as well, if Nantes, do they see a role for him? I think I'm not sure. They actually have Lopez in Nantes. I think it's actually a good goalkeeper, even though he's 35. But I think Patrick Karlgren is not close to be starting matches, and he's 34. So Nantes, from a Nantes perspective, maybe they should look into something different there. But overall, interesting. In the bottom, I feel that we have a stalemate. Not that many things moving around. I mean, almost all teams drawing. Auxerre now losing, of course, 5 points up to Nice. But there's still a gap there between Nantes and Auxerre, 5 points. And we're starting 3 matches left. I think not many things will move around. I don't see the crazy things happening now. So most likely Auxerre.
And I think for the last couple of rounds, we've seen these 3 teams. Like, I mean, Metz down the bottom, but I mean, somewhere between 5 to 6 points between Auxerre and Nantes the last couple of rounds. There's nothing changing down there. It's just one team grabbing a draw and so does the other, and then they just keep staying down there. So I don't think we'll see any rotations down there.
No. And I also just want to call out one fact in this table is that Metz has a goal difference of minus 39. I mean, they conceded 4 goals, but they scored 4 goals this weekend. So they actually have, 0 difference. But 39.
But I mean, crazy. Putting it in context, they played 31 games. So you could say they lost every game with 0.2 goals or something. It's not that bad. I mean, then you lost every game. So it's not good, but,
and not scoring any.
And not scoring any. But still,
yes, Put it that way, sure. But it's almost like they conceded 70 goals.
That's insane.
That is insane.
Yeah.
And then of course scoring 31. It's not the worst. I mean, you have Nantes and Auxerre have scored less, but defensive wise, it's a shambles.
Tomorrow night we have PSG versus Bayern Munich in Champions League. What a game to look forward to.
What a match. I think it's the 2 best clubs, we've said it before, currently in European football. And Luis Enrique seems confident, talking about PSG being... There's no team better than PSG at the moment. And but I think he has a reason of talking so. He has a full squad. Vitinha is back. And they are looking... super good ahead of this match. They've been also switching around in the 11s versus both Nantes and Angers, coming off 2-3-0 victories with rotation, and now they come here with star players, Dembélé, Vitinha. I mean, even Fabian Ruiz might be starting. They have options in midfield. They have Doué. Jeff, Bayern Munich. What kind of opponent is that for PSG?
I mean, as you said, this is going to be a game of the season, but I think it's interesting hearing Enrique going out with that statement ahead of the game, because usually he's very diplomatic, and I think coach in general, including Enrique, always want to downplay the fact if your team are the favorites to win. I mean, they were massive favorites, I guess you could say, and afterwards also towards Liverpool. But then he was, ahead of that game, he was like, Liverpool is a great team. They've had a hard time. We can't underestimate them. And they didn't have any issues going through Liverpool that game. And now going into this game against Bayern Munich, who's been looking so strong, beating Real Madrid, well deserved over 2 legs, saying that there's no team better than us. I think it's some mental games he's trying to play here ahead of this game, because he knows that Bayern Munich is looking really strong.
Yeah, and I mean, if we look just at the Bayern Munich attacking options, you have Kane, Musiala, Olise and Luis Diaz, and I think PSG, Safonov is going to have to work. They are going to score some goals and he's going to do some sweaty saves, because we're going to see goals both ways. I think Bayern Munich, I would say Jonathan Tah and Upamecano in the defense versus this PSG, there's going to be goals, and you can turn that all the way around as well. I think Marquinhos and Safonov down there in the back, I give this a 50-50. I mean, ahead of these 2 matches, I think it's a 50-50. I can't say there is a favorite even.
I would give slight advantages to PSG, just considering they're the reigning champions and they've had Enrique and the players and all that for a little bit longer. So I think they can trust each other a bit more than Bayern Munich. But then that's just a slight advantage. And I think this might be the game where it might be fully decided on the goalkeeper situation that I mentioned a few weeks back. Because these are the games where that matters the most. And we saw it in the second leg at Allianz when they played against Real Madrid, how that game was almost turning into advantage of Real Madrid when Neuer did that in the beginning. Yeah. And also I think he should have taken the free kick there. But what I'm saying here, Safonov will get more threatened than he had before in the Liverpool game in previous games. I mean, I don't think there's any striker out there that's more clinical than Kane. And what I mean by that is that, he can just get the ball. He doesn't have to, get into the ball like with pace to shoot. He can just stand there and just shoot the ball, and it's always going to go in any top corners or like bottom corners. And Safonov is not going to be able to take that. And they have other threats. So I think this might be actually up to, I'm calling it, I'm going to say this is going to be up to, is Safonov stepping up or not? So I'm switching. I'm going to go Munich advantage, because I think this might be up. No. Yeah. What I'm saying is I think it might come up to that, because both the teams are so good. But Neuer is better, and Safonov is not good enough.
No.
So I think it might come down to that.
Yeah, but it's interesting you say that, because now when you're putting it that way, I agree with you in that if Safonov has fantastic 2 matches, PSG has a great chance. But if he is your everyday Safonov, I think Bayern Munich are going to manage to score at least several goals over 2 matches. And PSG, they are going to score, but a bit like when Bayern Munich now faced, you spoke about the Real Madrid matches, back and forth, goal scored. This is the type of football, world-class quality that we're going to see in these 2 matches. And that's why I think everyone should turn the TV on if you're not there at Parc des Princes tomorrow and watch this. Because even as an objective football follower, even if you support other clubs, this is the kind of world-class football that it happens a few times a year. I have another call out that the winner of this double leg fixture will go to the final, and the winner of this one will win the final. Because in the other side you have Arsenal versus Atletico Madrid. And of course a final is 90 minutes football, everything can happen. But I think these 2 clubs are way ahead of both Arsenal and Atletico Madrid.
I just want to punch in there and say, if I'm reading this right, Bayern hasn't lost a game since January. So that's quite a streak for them.
Yeah, and of course, I mean, they are dominant in their league, similar to... But PSG has had some issues. Yeah. We follow them closely, and they've had some challenges. Lost just recently against Lyon, of course. They did rest some players then, and they have tight schedule ahead of them. But yeah, I'm just really looking forward from a football perspective to seeing this, and we're gonna see plenty goals.
Going to be an interesting day tomorrow.
Yes, and then we have to also do a brief mention because we have Strasbourg heading to a match versus Rayo Vallecano, and I mean they're heading to Madrid. Vallecas and Rayo Vallecano is it's a special club and have had a bit of a challenging up and down season in La Liga. And Strasbourg, as we know, it's a middle team in France. So I would say, again, I always say that it's so interesting to see middle teams facing off. And if we look at Rayo Vallecano, I mean, you do have some interesting quality football players there as well. I would say, with my haircut, we have Easy, captain in midfield. I have to give a shout out. Same age as well. So... something I appreciate, but I think also Strasbourg, one thing that's going to be challenging here is really important for the mentality that they got the victory against Lorient in the end, but they need to put Enciso there on the pitch. They need to put the best possible players because now they are in the end. They are in the end of the season, and this is the difference between going to the final or going home in a semi-final. They missed the coupe. The coupe is gone. Now this is the trophy they have to play for. So I would say all in Strasbourg against Rayo Vallecano.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. All in here, and I mean it's almost impossible to know how the outcome of this game is going to be because they've never played each other from before, and both teams coming into this game, with different kind of players who play different kind of football. So very, very hard to predict. But what we know from Strasbourg's previous qualification game is at home they're usually very strong.
Yeah.
So always good to have the second game at home, and hopefully Gary O'Neill can get his boys back in good shape and bring the trophy home to Strasbourg.
Match week 32 in Ligue 1. What kind of games do you look forward to, guys? We are starting off on Saturday with Nantes Marseille.
Yeah, just to start there, I think that's an interesting one because that might be more even than it looks just looking in the calendar because OM has the challenges. Big question, will Greenwood be in the starting 11 like you asked earlier, Dennis? But apart from that, I think Nice-Lens, it's a preview of the Coupe final, but now of course it's down in Nice, which will be interesting. Will they keep dropping points or will they grab 3 points to finish the season off in style? I look forward to that a lot. Jeff?
But do you guys think that both teams will play with all the players that they might play with in the final and with a similar approach that they might play in the final? Because now both teams doesn't really have that much to play for in the league, and you might not want to show your full register ahead of that game as well. So do you think we might see a bit of calmness initially, both teams feeling each other and not overcomplicating stuff, or will you see 2 games
completely separate?
Yeah,
I believe that it's going to be separate, given you mentioned already that Claude Puel put his strongest 11 against OM after a hectic week, and I think he's going to put the strongest 11, try to grab 3 points and distance completely between them and the bottom. But with Sage in Lens, I'm not sure. I think he has been resting players back and forth now for a bit, and I'm not sure what he will conclude there, because they are not going to win the Liga title, Lens, we can say. But not that many matches left. I want to see the strongest 11s on the pitch. Another one I want to call out is Lyon-Rennes.
Yeah.
Sunday evening.
That one's going to be interesting.
The match of the weekend, I would say.
Yes.
And again, this is no longer a coincidence. They're putting the games there. There's always a top game on the Sunday evenings.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's so true.
Exactly.
So, what do you guys think then? Lyon-Rennes.
Oh.
It's an interesting game. We have the third place on Lyon.
Yeah.
57 points. Rennes, 56. They both have, especially Rennes, very good form right now.
And will Paul keep scoring penalties?
Yeah, I was gonna say, you called him. What did you call him earlier?
Penalty merchant.
Yes.
Yeah, but he is top of the scoring table for a reason. I think we're gonna see an interesting game. Lyon has really been shaping up lately. We were highly critical, with all right. But now Yaremchuk, Endrick, Tolisso, there is some players in Lyon that I look forward to seeing on Sunday. So I think this one is a difficult one to call. But speaking about calling out what's going to happen, Le Foot Pronos. We need to start off concluding last week. We all lost and we are a minus. So the title race is still as even as before. But I just want to call out, I had Paris FC and Lille, both teams to score. Kebal got a penalty in the second half to score for Paris FC. He puts it in the post. The return comes out to him. He lets the ball go to Koleosho, who hits it right at the goalie. And that would have been 1 point for me. But yeah, close but no cigar. Dennis...
Yeah.
I mean, you were close yourself.
Yeah, Lorient, Strasbourg. I thought I had it. I thought I was so close. Then what is happening in the late game of that game? It's
for 90 minutes you were home. You were safe.
I thought it was a given there.
2 points.
Yeah, 2 points. And then after that, 99th minute.
Yes.
Or the 100th. Or it's damning.
Your prophecy playing against Strasbourg has finally come to an end.
Yeah, it really has. Gary O'Neill is doing his job.
Killed it.
Right.
Yeah, you don't want to strong arm Gary O'Neill.
Yeah.
And I have a bit of a 90-minute misfortune myself. I played the Monaco to win against away against Toulouse. And they were up 2-0, 2-1, and then Toulouse equalized in the 90th minute, making me not receiving any points from
Le Pronos.
Le Pronos.
But I must say, it's a rough start, but we jump right back on the horse. And I'm gonna say, I'm going for 3 points this weekend, saying Auxerre versus Angers will end in a draw. This is the final chance for Auxerre, I believe, to get closer to Nice.
And they're going to do so with a draw, you think?
No, they won't manage. They won't manage. This is going to be a draw, I think. Angers, fantastic goalkeeper in Kofi. This is going to be a draw. 3 points, but we're calling it out.
That's interesting.
Yeah, if I don't get it right, well, 2 points minus. It's a risk, but I'm willing to take it.
A couple of listeners with less money in their pocket.
Yeah, exactly. If anyone follows, it's their own. It's their own choice. Yes. We need to put it that way. Dennis,
I know we have a couple of people who listens to this who likes to gamble.
Yeah, as I said, we take zero responsibility. This is an internal competition for winning a dinner at McDonald's by the end of the season.
That's important to mention.
Yeah.
And the person who wins, he could go. He can decide anything.
Anything on the menu.
Like a double cheeseburger and also some nuggets and stuff.
Yeah. It's an extra everything menu. So the winner will get the McDonald's dinner after the season has concluded, and maybe we get to see that person in their favorite French club shirt as well, while enjoying that dinner at McDonald's.
Yeah. some of that Michelin tires on the belly. That's good.
But what are you gonna do, Dennis, to win that McDonald's dinner?
I am going to bet on Rennes this weekend. It's 3 points, and it's. I feel like it's a bit bold, but I really hope that Le Paul can show up.
And they have great form, Ram.
Yeah, they have great form, and it's certainly an interesting game to look forward to. Jeff, what are you going for?
Yeah, so in contrast to my fellow colleagues here, I'm going a bit more safe, and I think Lille will win at home versus Le Havre. 1 times 40 the money. So that will give me 1 point. With the background to Lille stepping up again last couple of games, showing good form, and most importantly, they have a lot to play for. They have everything in their hands, somewhat of an easy schedule the last couple of games, so winning this will give them, will get them one step closer to Champions League next year.
I love it when it started, the trophy, the McDonald's trophy here and the McDonald's dinner. You started playing safe here. You took a different route. Dennis took a crazy bet with Ren, and I'm going with some draw in a bottom game. But yeah, I like it. That is it for this week. Follow us on socials, subscribe and give us a rating wherever you listen to podcasts. And remember to tell a football-loving friend. For queries, you're always welcome to reach out at lefootpodcast@gmail.com. Have a great week and see you next Monday. Au revoir.